widespread public outrage. Do racists have a place in the current democratic dispensation? How have years of apartheid rule impacted social inequality in the country? And why did the ANC Youth League say Penny Sparrow must pay for her utterances? What time is it? It is question time. Welcome to Question Time. My name is Mpho. The use of social media has once again come under the spotlight. This after a KwaZulu-Natal estate agent, Penny Sparrow, took to Facebook and labeled black beachgoers as monkeys. This has resulted in a social media and public outrage. Meanwhile, her former employers, Jawet's Properties, have distanced themselves from her remarks. The company says while Sparrow left the company 2 months ago, her online profile still associated her with their brand. A reminder that we are live. And therefore, you can call us and hear your views. The numbers to dial 089-110-4210. You can also tweet us. Our Twitter handle at QuestionTime24. My guest today, Mlondolozi Mkhize, is the ANC Youth League spokesperson. And on the line, we're joined by ANC Deputy Secretary General, J.C. Duarte. Let me welcome you both to Question Time.
Thank you.
DSG, let me derail you a bit from January 8 preparations.
Yes.
Another statement, another tragedy as it would appear. The people are really up in arms on social media and elsewhere, saying for how long?
Thank you very much, for inviting me to speak. I think that the issue is that Ms. Sparrow is completely out of order. She is clearly a racist. It's a question of an understanding of people who do not understand that they live in a country where the majority of people are black and they always will be black. So whether she likes it or not, we will be on the beaches of Durban, Cape Town, anywhere we want to be, because this is our country. And her unfortunate and racist statements deserve to be taken to the Human Rights Commission. Can't allow this to continue where people make statements like this on social media and later on will stand up and apologize, and there will be a thought that they must be forgiven. I think this is unforgivable. Her statements are completely and absolutely unforgivable. In this year, 2016, we've come a long way in this country. We do not need people like Sparrow to begin to unravel the motion towards building a nation. And what we must hold on to is that we are capable of building a non-racial, non-sexist, united and democratic South Africa. And perhaps Ms. Sparrow, instead of pretending that her life is in danger as she now purports in the media, nobody will put her life in danger, but perhaps the Human Rights Commission must rain down on her.
But what does it mean? I mean, what kind of a country is this where, regularly people will just make this type of remarks?
We're not an unusual country where there is racism and xenophobia and all kinds of phobias. So I don't think we must begin to see ourselves as all South Africans having a race hatred problem. That's not the truth. There are the occasions where you'll find sparrows, and there was this woman from the DA, and I believe there's a Standard Bank employee, Mr. Hart, similar opinions and so forth and so on. They are there. Our responsibility is to make sure that they do not drag the rest of us down a racial hatred path. We must always remain above them, and we must always move away from the way they speak and the way they think, and hopefully our children and ourselves begin to have a new conversation about building a non-racial South Africa. Some people will never accept that there's been a change in this country. That is sad for them. That is something that they will have to live for as a blight on their souls for the rest of their lives. It is not our national character any longer. She is not representing all South Africans. She is representing herself and perhaps the DA.
I wanted to come to that point, that the fact that she's linked to the DA, are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised, because when we've said this before, this is probably the conversation that takes place inside the DA caucus and inside DA structures all the time. And the pretense of being a non-racial organization is just a pretense. We hope that people will see through that, and we hope that people will begin to understand that when you want to build a nation, you don't build it with people who have notions of privilege that must be kept intact. What Sparrow wants is, she wants whites-only beaches. She wants beaches that where no black people go. And I mean, calling people monkeys is clearly a very disparaging. And for that reason, she needs to go in front of the Human Rights Commission. She must respect the institutions of this country, and she must be given a way of bettering herself. Maybe she can't, I don't know. But, you know, honestly speaking, I don't think an apology, and I'm sorry in this case, is good enough.
DSG, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, and hopefully we'll see you all at January the 8th on the 9th. In the Northwest Province in Rustenburg.
Yes, we'll be at the media booth.
Thank you. Welcome.
All right. The ANC Youth League has spoken, and typical of the Youth League, you're not mincing your words. But firstly, I want us to look at this statement, which has really caused this entire uproar. Perhaps we'll just get it pulled up on one of our screens. There, Penny Sparrow. These monkeys that are allowed to be released on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day onto public beaches, towns, etc., obviously have no education whatsoever. So to allow them loose is inviting huge dirt and troubles and discomfort to others. I'm sorry to say I was amongst the revelers, and all I saw were black on black skins. What a shame. I do know some wonderful, thoughtful black people. This lot of monkeys just don't want to even try, but think they can voice opinions about statute and get their way. Dear, oh dear. From now, I shall address the blacks of South Africa as monkeys, as I see the cute little wild monkeys do the same pick, drop, and litter. Saturday, 1:30 p.m. That was Penny Sparrow. Oh, she even has 15 likes. Well, interesting. So, this is the statement.
Well, look, first of all is that the DSG of the African National Congress, she says that she assumes or she thinks. I think this just confirms that this is what the DA is about. And I will make a narration. Firstly, it was an MP, Bernard, who said that he misses Botha.
Yeah.
Secondly, it's her. He's a member of the DA. The DA has released a statement.
Yeah.
The most unfortunate thing is that Bernard is still in the National Assembly. Surely they won't do anything to her. The DA is about racism. But I think that as a country, we need to take firm action against these kind of statements. She's not the only one. There is Chris as well, who has subsequently been put to DC by Standard Bank. White people refuse to accept the fact that the natives, the blacks, are the majority in this country.
Some white people, you mean?
Well, white people. I'm not too sure when you sum, we are going to quantify the sum. How many is the sum?
Well, but certainly it's not all of them.
Certainly it's not all of them, but we don't know. But more and more of them are coming out.
You've got white comrades in the ANC Youth League.
Yes, indeed.
So are you saying they are saying the same things?
Look, the African National Congress accepts everyone, and we believe that by virtue of accepting the membership of the African National Congress, which is voluntary, you are not racist.
Okay, so
yes.
We agree that some white people
The problem with some is that I can't quantify some.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's white people.
All right, hold it there. Tumi, you are calling us from Pretoria.
All right, hold it there. You are calling us from... Hello, Mpo.
Yes.
Mpo?
Yes, go ahead.
Mpo, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You heard...
I think Yeah, go ahead, Tim.
What the lady said is very sad. What the lady said is very, very sad. But I don't like the way the ANC is tackling this thing. They're tackling this thing politically. They want to say now the DA, all of the DA people are racist. It's like us saying all of the ANC people are corrupt. You know, if we're going to build this country, we must learn to identify people who are doing what is wrong within good organizations. Not everyone at the ANC is corrupt, and not everyone at the DA is a racist.
Okay.
So if they're going to try to score points because of its elections now, they say no, the DA is a racist party. Then people will say ANC is a corrupt party.
Okay.
We must deal with these people individually and let organizations build this country that will belong to all of us, not a particular group of people who belong to a particular party.
Okay,
thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Itumeleng, in calling us from Tshwane. I want us to take a quick break and then we'll return shortly. A reminder that you can call us and air your views. The number to dial is 089-110-4210. I'm actually interested to hear from members of the DA themselves. You know, what's your feeling? What's your position, you know, when your party is under siege in the manner that it is? But this question time. We'll be taking your calls. 089-110-4210.
All the latest news from the SABC's online news services on our website. Breaking news and in-depth coverage of everything from business, sports to politics and lifestyle. Catch the top news clips and watch live streaming of major news events on the SABC News YouTube channel whenever. Stay connected on the SABC News Facebook page and have your say on news that matters to you. And for the latest headlines and live updates from our reporters, follow us on Twitter. SABC Digital News, anytime, anywhere.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. My guest today is Mlondolozi Mkhize. He's the spokesperson of the ANC Youth League. Kamazil, you heard what Itumeleng said.
Look, let us deal with reality. The reality is that many people want to think like he thinks, and we agree with that kind of thought. But even DA members and leaders are saying that black people are under siege. There is this MS of police in Western Cape,
yes,
who are saying that Helen Zille was dealing with her because he is black. At the helm of that organization was Helen Zille. So you can imagine if at the top of the leadership there is that kind of racial undertones, what does the rest of the organization resembles? It cannot be correct that consistently people that come from one organization share the same thoughts. You know, in our statement, we even asked a question to the DA. Is the DA a nest of racism? Are they nurturing racism? You know, the other reality is that we think that, look, the society and the African National Congress need to take responsibility of building the society. Those that refuse, they must go out.
How so? How do you get... But
look, we've got a problem. Till today, we are sitting with one village called Orania. Yeah, and there only white people stay there. They teach their own language. They do their own things. But it cannot be acceptable.
EFF even gets a vote from Orania. Hold it there. Yeah, George, you are in Pretoria.
Hold it there. Yeah, George.
Yes, my name is George Sibani.
Okay.
I would like to say that it is really unfortunate to have such racist remarks in the new year. However, as I indicated previously, the main focus that we have to look at is to build what I call aesthetic relational values, between which Sikane Kagapa actually articulated in 1800, where he mentioned unity in diversity. And I think we're missing that point unless we start with nation building plan, which I think Mandela started with it, but it was not yet finished. So I would like us to discuss nation building plan, which I have really conceptualized into a very detailed document, which can assist with issues of social cohesion and integration in terms of development in this country. I think that we owe it to our forefathers.
Thank you very
much, Mpo.
Thank you very much, George. Nation building and social cohesion. But you see, the challenge with social cohesion is that it depends on the individual. You cannot legislate feelings. Yeah.
That's the problem. You see, at some point, one comrade said that it seems that every time when black people reach out to white people always run away. You know, and we cannot live in denial because, look, whether you like it or not, when you go to Camps Bay in Cape Town, if you don't have the necessary psychological and stamina as a human being, you will feel that really you are not in South Africa, because white people have made it their responsibility that they must keep certain areas reserved to themselves. The comment asserts such a thinking that beaches must be left to white people because that's what they used to be before, you know, and we cannot continue like this. That's why we appreciate and we're going to support the African National Congress Youth League in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, who are taking penny to the Human Rights Commission. And we feel that the Human Rights Commission needs to do justice in that regard. If she must pay, she must pay. You know, this thing of saying you alter a remark, then you say, I apologize. It does not work. Nicely put by the former Minister of Sports, Chief Duarte, at the time when he was an MP of the ANC. He says a remark that is not acceptable and not parliamentary. French Chinwala was a speaker at that time. Request him to withdraw that remark. He says, I withdraw, but the intended damage is done. So withdrawing and apologizing does not assist, because what you have wanted to communicate, you have in essence communicated it. So your apology does not stand. For us, Penny, Chris, in fact, I want to encourage SABC. I want to encourage E-News that they should stop inviting Chris Hart to be an analyst of economics here in your studios, because you can't give space to an airtime to racist people. It must not be allowed. They are going to spread the cancer to the rest of the nation whilst they're in your studios, and you might just be blamed as a South African broadcaster. So we must never invite that man again. Whether he has apologized, whether he has not apologized, he must just stay there in his corner in Standard Bank if they don't fire him.
Okay. Sisego, Sekapa. Sisego?
Correct, Baba. You can hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
I'm having a problem with the ANC and the DA.
Siseko, switch your television volume off, and then we'll be able to hear each other clearly.
The ANC, I got you there. The ANC and the DA are the oppressors of black people in this country. We are still living in very, very poor conditions. More than 20 years, the ANC has been in power. Nothing has changed to the black people. You can only see the changes only to other white people or other the top dogs of the ANC. They are the ones that are rich. We are still, it's very, very bad. Thank you.
Okay, Siseko, thank you very much. I would have loved to actually ask him that why do the majority of African people go to Monabisi Beach instead of the other side of Camps Bay and Sea Point? You know, it's interesting. I would really love to know, but he is gone. Youth League, how should Miss Sparrow pay? Yes, you say that she must pay for utterances.
First and foremost, she must find the nearest airport, which is King Shaka, and find the nearest country where she is going to go with these kind of remarks. We cannot accept people who have these remarks. She must leave the country. If she believes that she stays with monkeys, then she is in the jungle. as a civilized person as she purports to be, she can't be in the jungle. So can she go find where there is civilization, and she must stay there, and she must never come back to this jungle that he calls South Africa, where it's full of monkeys. Because the reality of the matter, whether you like it or not, in South Africa and in Africa, black people are the majority. So most probably she must go to Australia, she must go to New Zealand, all those countries where you would find predominantly white people. Because we can't stomach to live with such people. If this is how she reasons, can we imagine what the household shares in these thoughts and ideas? Because these kind of things are very fragile. These kind of ideas get impacted and get imparted on kids, neighbors, and that's why we cannot afford not to allow such people to live side by side with us. If they don't like us, the feeling must be mutual. We don't like them. Unfortunately, we're the majority. We like being here. She's the one that can't stay with us because we're monkeys. She must leave and let us allow us be. And we'll never stop going to those beaches.
Tembile, usekapa.
How are you, sir?
I'm well. Thanks for the call.
Hello.
Yes?
How are you?
Tembile, go ahead.
Yes. Paul, thank you for taking my call. I'm staying in Cape Town. I don't know if it's a norm or, staying in these conditions of oppressed by white people in Cape Town. I think it will take time to change, in fact, the way you live. Like, we never come out and spoke out our government, like open discussion. Honestly, talking about racism, it always be on white people seeing us as monkeys, whatever they call us. But I think it's high time in 2016. Some people speak about this race thing and all kind of stuff, because we're dealing with it on a daily basis in Cape Town. There's nothing new when somebody, a white person, say a comment or whatever on social media about black people. It's a norm to us, I think our government must stop fighting Jacob Zuma in Parliament and address the real issue that, because at the end of the day, our kids are, we're leaving a legacy for our kids, and we are busy fighting in Parliament instead of facing real issues of racism, and in Cape Town in particular.
Okay, Tembile, thank you very much. I think you've made your point. What Tembile basically is saying here is that this is something that happens every day where he lives, and he says he's in Cape Town. So it means that you have a challenge. Your party, your government, yourselves as the Youth League.
No, indeed, we've got a challenge. Just like you were saying, Mpo, that when you are dealing with feelings, it's very difficult. There is no cure for feelings, whether they are right or wrong. You can't do anything about them. But we must continue to teach our people that, in 1955, when people gathered in Cape Town, amongst other things that made the creation of the PAC was that very important clause, that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, black and white. In South Africa, there is a constant perception, which in many people's mind is now becoming a reality, that anything done by a black person is less of quality than that done by a white person. And these are some of the things that we need to deal with. Maybe we need to acknowledge that Steve B was correct, that arresting the mind of a black man was the best form of oppressing people. There was a collapse of a bridge here by Marion Roberts.
Yes.
And no one was asking questions. I'm sure if it was a black company, people would be saying, how is it connected to the African National Congress? Who is funding the African National Congress? Is he a friend of Zuma? Is he a friend of Colin? Is he a friend of the DSG or the SG? That's how this society is, including black people, by the way. You see? So we need not to say only white people have got a problem, even ourselves. We need to cultivate ourselves to an extent that we remove these unnecessary stigmas that have stayed over time. When you go to villages and everywhere in the township, they usually say, when a car is new, intimbi yomlungu. And you just imagine, why can't be intimbi yomnyama? These are forms of mind oppression that we're speaking about.
So decolonize the mind.
To decolonize the mind is more than necessary, but people must volunteer. One comrade used to say that for you to learn, you must first unlearn. I think at this time, we must first unlearn to deal away with all these things that we have learned that were wrong, to appreciate the fact that black people, in fact, are in charge. The comment, loosely put, he is saying that the Republic of South Africa is governed by monkeys.
Let me thank you for the time, but perhaps the last one, as you were saying that she needs to find the nearest country to go to, not South Africa, Zimbabwe perhaps?
Well, I'm not too sure whether Uncle Bob will allow him there. You know Uncle Bob and how he treats white people. He does not like them. He has said it before, speaking to a journalist. So he must go to Australia.
Okay.
Thank you, Mpo.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
That was question time for today. A big thank you to my guest, and indeed, it was quite a wonderful first show for 2016. We wish you all the best.
Went overseas to win 2 awards for himself for Best South African Male Artist and a second one for his hit track All Eyes on Me. The Lamb film is nominated for Best Foreign category at the 2016 Oscars.
We couldn't find finance until the script won a very prestigious prize in France.
Dr. Pascal has inspired many in song and theatre presentation.
In 1985 when I came, I went to the SABC on the radio and I was the voice of Africa.
Catch Trends every Friday at 9 p.m.
Media Monitor, your weekly media news review program.
It was squashed some few months back, but obviously this is something that is going to hang around Praveen until it is actually dealt with. If he didn't know, then he wasn't doing his job.
In it, she described how the man's hair was frozen, although the man has no hair.
Is anybody volunteering to go to jail for him? That is not how the law works.
This particular matter makes us really look like a serious banana republic.
Unpacking headlines and giving analysis on topical issues. Sundays at 9 a.m. only on the SABC News Channel.
Africa's tech scene is constantly coming up with innovative ways to answer some of the continent's problems.
We source content from social media, from our mobile apps, from our website.
And as people move from phone calls to data, companies have to switch what they offer.
People expect to get higher speeds, better quality broadband for less.
On Network, we have information on Africa's technology and social media scene. That's Network with Ms. Phumelele Zondi every Sunday at 9 p.m. Central African Time, only on SABC News.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been banned.
It didn't happen to me on that day because I was already in jail when it happened.
I was scared that when I get back to Joburg, I was going to be arrested. Well, I wasn't. Who are you asking? You're looking at me?
Yes, Zubaida, I'm talking to you.
So the old fuddy-duddies like Dennis and me will remain there.
I just want to say, Joe, that the thing about... damn, go on, and it's coming back to
me. So much more than just the Legal and Rights Show. Join Dumile Mateza every Sunday at 2 p.m. only on the SABC News Channel.
Vera Ephraim defied family and traditions to follow her dream.
Decided that I'm going to prove to them that they were wrong.
The first breakthrough came in when she was studying and touring in Europe.
That was my first breakthrough.
Generations was her first television debut in South Africa.
It was my first gig. I was very excited. I was very happy. I said, yeah, this is confirmation I'm at the right place.
After pain, rejection, and suffering, her dream became a reality.
I followed my path, and I'm happy and grateful and blessed.
Join your host, Wileng Mulabati, on Rupilong every Friday at 17:30.
It's 6 o'clock Central African time. A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us. You're watching SABC News Prime Time, and these are your headlines.